She will never say this out loud. But the more available you are, the less powerful you become. It sounds cruel. It sounds unfair. Yet if you watch carefully, you will see it everywhere. The men who give the most attention are rarely the ones she becomes obsessed with. Meanwhile, the man who remains slightly out of reach somehow occupies her mind day and night. Why? Because attraction does not follow the rules you were taught growing up. Most men were raised to believe that effort creates desire, that if you show enough care, enough patience, enough emotional availability, she will eventually choose you. But here is the uncomfortable truth. Attraction is not built on comfort. It is built on tension, and tension only exists when something feels slightly uncertain, slightly dangerous, slightly out of reach. So let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed how a woman can forget the man who treated her perfectly, yet spend months thinking about the one who remained just mysterious enough to never be fully understood? That is not coincidence, that is psychology. There are specific emotional triggers that bypass logic and go straight into the deepest layers of the human mind. The ancient wiring that controls desire, curiosity, and obsession. They feel unfair, almost manipulative, which is exactly why they work. Today we are going to explore 6 of these psychological triggers. Not through manipulation, but through the calm, controlled discipline of Stoicism. The mindset that allows a man to remain centered, composed, and impossible to fully possess. Master one of these triggers, and you become intriguing. Master all 6, and something strange happens. She stops seeing you as just another man. You become the mystery she cannot stop trying to solve. Let's begin. Trigger number 1, the void. And this one is brutal for most men, because it forces you to do the exact opposite of what your instincts are screaming at you to do when you like a woman. Let me paint a scene you've probably lived through. You meet a woman, there's chemistry, conversation flows. She laughs at your jokes. She touches your arm. That little spark hits your brain, and suddenly your entire nervous system shifts into pursuit mode. Now watch what most men do next. They reply instantly. Every message, every time. She sends a message, and before a minute even passes, you're already replying. She leaves you on read for 2 hours. You sit there staring at the screen like a stock trader watching the market crash. Then the double text comes. Hey, did you see my message? And in that moment, something invisible dies. You think you're showing interest. You think you're building connection. But from her perspective, something else is happening entirely. The mystery disappears. The tension disappears. And when tension disappears, attraction suffocates. Here is the uncomfortable truth most men never hear. Presence, when it is constant, becomes invisible. Think about air. You never notice it. You never think about it. You never crave it until you're underwater. Scarcity creates awareness. Scarcity creates value. And right now, most men are flooding women with attention like a broken fire hydrant. Endless availability, endless reassurance, endless validation. And the result? You become emotional background noise. But the Stoic man understands something deeper. Power is not loud. Power is contained. There is something unsettling about a man who does not feel the need to constantly explain himself, constantly reassure, constantly prove his interest. A man who is comfortable with silence. A man who can step back and disappear into his own world without panic. That man creates the void. And the void does something fascinating to the human mind. It activates imagination. Let me tell you what starts happening inside her head. The first day, nothing. The second day, a small thought appears. That's strange, he hasn't texted. The third day, curiosity. What is he doing? Then the questions begin multiplying. Is he busy? Is he with someone else? Did I say something wrong? Was I too distant? Was I too available? And now something subtle has happened. She is thinking about you while you are nowhere to be found. This is the dirty secret most men never understand. When she is analyzing you, she is investing in you. Every minute she spends replaying your last conversation. Every moment she wonders what you're doing. Every tiny emotional spike of curiosity or uncertainty. That is psychological real estate being purchased inside her mind. And you didn't even have to pay rent. You just had to stay quiet. But here is where most men sabotage themselves. They try to manufacture the void through childish games, fake ignoring, passive-aggressive silence, cold one day, needy the next. Women can smell that weakness instantly. The void only works when it comes from a real life, not a tactic. A man with purpose, a man with momentum, a man who genuinely has better things to do than stare at a glowing rectangle waiting for validation. So try something uncomfortable. The next time you feel that itch, that little voice in your head saying, maybe I should just send a quick text. Stop, don't, put the phone down. Go lift something heavy. Go read 10 pages of a book. Go walk outside. Hell, sit in silence and stare at the ceiling if you have to. But do not reach. And pay attention to what happens inside your body. That tension in your chest, that restless feeling, that urge to break the silence. Most men think that feeling means something is wrong, but it's not. That feeling is withdrawal. Withdrawal from the addiction to female validation. And if you can sit inside that discomfort without reacting, something changes. Your posture changes. Your energy changes. Your presence changes. Because now you are no longer chasing attention. You are comfortable existing without it. And paradoxically, that is the moment attention starts chasing you. If you can sit inside the void, you become the prize. If you cannot, you remain the fan. Trigger number 2, emotional containment. Now this one separates boys from men faster than almost anything else. Because most men think attraction is built through emotional connection. What they don't realize is that attraction is often built through emotional contrast. Let me explain something you've probably seen but never fully understood. Women feel deeply, fast, intensely. Their emotions move like weather. One moment sunshine, next moment thunder. This is not a flaw. It is part of their nature. But here is the part no one tells you. They don't want to date another storm, they want a mountain. And most men fail this test without even realizing it. Picture the situation. You're talking to a woman. Everything is smooth. Then suddenly, something shifts. Her tone changes. Her responses get colder. Maybe she throws a little jab your way. Maybe she questions something you said. Maybe she creates a tiny conflict out of nowhere. Most men panic right there. You see it happen all the time. He starts explaining himself. No, that's not what I meant. He tries to smooth everything over. He apologizes for things he didn't even do. Or worse, he gets emotional, defensive, frustrated. His voice changes. His energy changes. And the moment he does that, the dynamic flips. Because now she knows something important. She can move your emotions like a joystick. And once a woman realizes she can control your emotional state, respect quietly leaves the room. But the Stoic man operates differently. He understands something ancient. Emotion is contagious. And whoever controls their emotional state controls the entire room. So when the storm appears, he does something most men physically cannot do. He stays calm, not fake calm. Not passive-aggressive silence, real calm. The kind that makes people slightly uncomfortable. She throws a little provocation. He looks at her, relaxed, maybe even amused. She raises her voice slightly. His tone stays slow, measured, unbothered. Not because he is suppressing emotion, but because he genuinely refuses to let chaos enter his internal world. This creates what psychologists sometimes call the black hole effect. When someone throws emotional energy at you, they expect it to bounce back. Anger for anger, defensiveness for accusation, drama for drama. But when nothing comes back, the energy has nowhere to go, so it collapses inward, into her. And suddenly the dynamic changes. She starts feeling something strange, confusion, curiosity, and yes, attraction, because your nervous system just communicated three powerful things without saying a single word. First, her emotions do not control you. Second, her provocations do not destabilize you. Third, you are operating from a position of internal authority. And here is the brutal truth most men struggle to accept. A woman cannot respect a man. She can emotionally manipulate. If she throws a small emotional test and you crumble, she learns she owns you. But if she throws a storm at you and you remain the mountain, something deeper happens. Her mind starts trying to figure you out. I once watched this happen with a friend of mine. We were at dinner. His girlfriend started getting irritated about something small, tone rising, small accusations. You could see the tension building. Most men would have argued back immediately. He didn't. He listened, took a sip of his drink, smiled slightly, and said calmly, "Are you done, or is there more coming?" Not aggressive, not defensive, just calm. The entire energy at the table changed in seconds. Her tone softened, her posture shifted, and you could almost see the psychological recalibration happening in real time. Because what she was unconsciously searching for was a man she could not emotionally shake. A man whose center of gravity was too heavy to move. Seneca once wrote that the man who is everywhere is nowhere. But there is another truth hidden inside that philosophy. The man who reacts to everything controls nothing. So master this. Master your face. Master your tone. Master your stillness. When the world raises its voice, you lower yours. When chaos pushes you, you don't push back. You hold your ground. This is not coldness, it is containment. And in a world full of emotional noise, containment is power. Now we move to trigger number 3, and this one completely flips the dynamic most men walk into with women, because men are taught their entire lives that they need to impress women. Think about it. Nice clothes, funny jokes, stories about success, subtle bragging, showing status, showing money, trying to prove your value. Men walk into interactions like performers walking onto a stage, desperately hoping the audience approves. You see it everywhere. The man dancing, the woman observing, the jester entertaining the queen. Stop doing that. Trigger number 3, flipping the script, the judge frame, and this one quietly destroys the entire dynamic most men walk into with women. Because from the time we're teenagers, we are conditioned to believe one thing, that women are the selectors and we are the applicants. So what do men do? They try to impress. Nice clothes, carefully chosen photos, funny stories, little humble brags about work, money, lifestyle. Everything becomes a performance. You walk into the interaction like a candidate sitting across from a hiring manager, trying to prove you deserve the position. But here is the uncomfortable truth. The moment you start trying to impress her, you have already placed her above you, and women feel that shift instantly. She doesn't need to think about it consciously. Her instincts pick it up. Your tone changes, your posture changes, your questions become cautious, your energy starts asking for approval. And once that happens, the dynamic becomes predictable. You are performing, she is evaluating, you are chasing, she is deciding. That is the old script. Now watch what happens when you flip it. A high-value man does not walk into an interaction hoping to be chosen. He walks in deciding whether she qualifies. That is the judge frame, and it completely changes your energy. Instead of thinking, "I hope she likes me," your mind quietly asks, "Let's see if she's worth my time." That shift alone is powerful, because it comes from standards, real standards. The Stoic man lives by a code. He has a way he moves through the world, a way he treats people, a way he expects to be treated, and not everyone gets access to that world, especially not just because they're attractive. This is where most men fail. They see beauty and instantly lower their standards. You've seen it happen. A woman is beautiful, and suddenly men start behaving like servants. laughing at everything she says, agreeing with every opinion, nodding along like a dashboard ornament, no friction, no challenge, no backbone, and after a while, she gets bored. Not because she enjoys being difficult, but because there is nothing to push against, no resistance, no tension. Now imagine a different energy. You're sitting across from her. She says something bold. Instead of instantly agreeing, you lean back slightly and say, "Is that really what you think?" Not aggressive, just curious, a little skeptical, maybe even slightly amused. Or she makes a playful remark and you look at her for a moment and say, "You seem like trouble." Then you pause, half smile. I'm not sure if that's a good thing. Now suddenly the energy changes, because you are no longer trying to impress her. You are evaluating her. And this creates something most beautiful women rarely experience: uncertainty. Think about her normal reality for a moment. Most men treat her like she's already won the game. Compliments, agreement, validation, constant green lights. But when you introduce even a small amount of challenge, her brain pauses. Wait, does he actually like me? Or when she says something and you respond with, "I'm not convinced," or "We might not get along." Watch what happens. Her energy shifts. Suddenly she starts explaining herself, clarifying, trying to win your approval. And now something subtle has happened. She is investing. This taps into a powerful psychological principle called effort justification. Humans value what they have to work for, not what is handed to them freely. If you hand yourself to her like a gift wrapped on a silver platter, you will be treated like a cheap appetizer, pleasant but forgettable. However, if she feels like she has to earn your attention, earn your approval, earn her place in your world, your value multiplies in her mind. But this only works if you actually believe it. This cannot be a line. It has to come from real standards. If she's boring, allow yourself to feel bored. If she's rude, call it out. If she's disrespectful, leave. Most men are terrified of that moment, because they think walking away means losing the girl. But ironically, the moment a man is truly willing to reject a woman, his power skyrockets. I once watched a situation that explains this perfectly. A guy I knew was talking to a woman who was used to constant attention. At some point during the conversation, she became dismissive. Short answers, scrolling her phone, typical test. Most men would start trying harder at that point. More jokes, more effort, more energy. He didn't. He looked at her for a second, smiled politely, stood up and said, "You seem distracted. Let's continue this another time." And he left. No drama, no anger, just quiet standards. 10 minutes later, she was the one texting him, trying to reopen the conversation. Because in that moment, something unusual happened. He didn't need her validation, and that changes everything. Epictetus said, "We should only concern ourselves with what is within our control." Her opinion of you is not within your control, but your opinion of her, that belongs entirely to you. Own that power. Trigger number 4, controlled vulnerability. Now this one is dangerous, because most men misunderstand it completely, especially in the red pill space. You hear this advice all the time. Never show weakness. Never open up. Be completely cold. And a lot of men take that literally. They become emotional robots. Flat tone. No depth. No story. No humanity. And here is the problem. A robot might command respect, but it rarely creates desire. Humans are drawn to contrast. Strength mixed with depth. Control mixed with experience. Fire that has already burned. The mistake most men make is not vulnerability. The mistake is uncontrolled vulnerability. Let me put it bluntly. There is a massive difference between bleeding on someone and showing them a scar. Most men bleed. They meet a woman they barely know, and suddenly their entire emotional history spills onto the table. They start talking about their ex, their heartbreak, their problems at work, their stress, their insecurities. They're not sharing, they're unloading. And without realizing it, they shift the dynamic into something ugly. She stops seeing a man. She starts seeing someone who needs emotional care, and attraction quietly dies. Because the moment she feels like she has to emotionally carry you, the polarity disappears. You are no longer the man. You become the responsibility. The Stoic man does something different. He feels pain. He has experienced loss, failure, humiliation. But he processes those battles internally. By the time he speaks about them, they are already resolved. So when he shares something personal, it doesn't sound like a wound. It sounds like history. Let me give you an example. Most men would say something like this: "My last relationship destroyed me. I trusted someone and it ended badly." You can hear the emotional weight in that sentence. Now listen to the Stoic version. 5 years ago, I lost almost everything I had built. Pause, but it forced me to rebuild my life from the ground up. Another pause. And honestly, it was probably the best thing that ever happened to me. Notice the difference. No complaining, no emotional dumping, no request for sympathy, just calm acknowledgement of something painful, followed by strength. This creates something incredibly powerful in a woman's mind: depth. Suddenly she realizes you have lived. You have been through things. You have seen parts of life that most men crumble under. But here you are, calm, composed, unbroken, and that creates a strange psychological tension. Because now she sees two things at once: a man who has clearly walked through fire, and a man who carries no visible burns. That combination is magnetic. It signals danger, but also safety, strength, but also humanity. Let me tell you something most men never notice. Women are deeply drawn to men who have survived something. A man who has never struggled feels flat, predictable. A man who has faced darkness and came out sharper on the other side feels different. There is weight behind his words, experience behind his eyes. You don't need to exaggerate anything. Your life has already given you stories, failure, loss, moments you didn't think you would recover from. The key is how you deliver them. Calmly, briefly, almost like you are discussing someone else's life, not because you are hiding emotion, but because you have already mastered it. And when you reveal a scar like that, something subtle happens. She leans in, emotionally, because now she sees a glimpse behind the armor. But the armor is still there. You are letting her look behind the curtain without ever handing her the controls. You are communicating something powerful without saying it directly. I am human. I have bled, but I am not bleeding now. And that balance triggers two instincts inside her at the same time: respect and nurturing. She feels curiosity about the man who endured the pain, and she feels drawn to the strength that came out of it. She might even feel the impulse to heal something in you. But here is the key. She also knows she doesn't need to save you. You already saved yourself, and that combination is lethal. Trigger number 5, the orbital effect. This one destroys more attraction than almost anything else men do. And the tragedy is, most men do it thinking they're being romantic. Listen carefully. If you make her the center of your universe, you will eventually burn up, because the moment a woman becomes the sun in your solar system, your entire world starts revolving around her. Your time, your attention, your decisions, your schedule, everything begins to orbit her moods. And at first she might say she likes it. She might even encourage it. You're always so busy. You should spend more time with me. You care more about work than about me. Men hear that, and they react emotionally. They start sacrificing things. Gym sessions get skipped. Plans with friends get cancelled. Work gets delayed. Personal goals get pushed aside. All to prove one thing, that she is the priority. And that is the exact moment respect quietly begins to disappear. Not because she is cruel, but because her instincts are reading the situation very differently than her words. Her instincts are asking one simple question: What kind of man abandons his mission for a woman he just met? And the answer her subconscious arrives at is brutal. A man without direction, a man without discipline, a man whose center can be moved. And that kind of man cannot lead. Now contrast that with the Stoic man. The Stoic man lives by purpose. The Greeks called it telos, your mission, the direction your life is moving toward. Your work, your growth, your discipline, your standards. And that mission existed long before she appeared. And it will continue moving forward whether she stays or disappears tomorrow. This changes everything, because now she is not the center of your life. She is simply a part of it, an addition, not the axis. This creates what I call the orbital effect. Instead of you orbiting her, she begins orbiting you. Not because you demand it, but because your life has momentum. Imagine two different men. The first one is always available. Text anytime, he responds instantly. Call him at midnight, he shows up. Cancel plans last minute. He rearranges his entire evening. He has no friction, no resistance, no gravity. Now imagine the second man. He trains consistently. He works relentlessly. His schedule is full. His attention is earned, not freely distributed. Sometimes when she asks to see him, he says no, not rudely, not emotionally, just calmly. I can't tonight. I've got work to finish. And then he returns to what he was doing. No apology, no long explanation, just clarity. Watch what happens in her mind. At first, she might feel irritation, a little frustration. Why is he so busy? Why can't he just make time? Good. That small friction creates value, because now your attention feels scarce, and scarcity creates gravity. She starts adjusting. She rearranges her schedule. She becomes more intentional with her time around you, because she knows your life is moving forward, with or without her. And that is incredibly attractive. There is also another psychological layer here that most men never notice. When a woman sees a man deeply focused on his mission, her brain makes an automatic calculation. If he is this committed, other people must value him too. If he is going somewhere, I want to be on that journey. This is known as mate choice copying. Humans instinctively want what other people appear to want. A man moving with purpose signals status, even without saying a word. Let me give you a simple moment you've probably experienced. A woman texts you, "What are you doing tonight?" Most men instantly reply, "Nothing. Want to hang out?" And just like that, the frame collapses. Your entire evening is empty, waiting to be filled by her presence. Now imagine the other response. "I can't tonight. I've got things to finish." That's it. No long explanation, no guilt, no apology. Just a man continuing his path. She might complain. She might say you work too much. She might tease you about being obsessed with your goals. Let her, because here is the secret most men never understand. She might complain about your ambition to her friends, but deep down, she is bragging about it. She is talking about the man who is building something, the man who is going somewhere, the man whose life does not revolve around her, but still has space for her. And that creates security, because she knows she is dealing with a man who has direction, a man who can lead. Think of it this way. A ship in the ocean needs a captain. If the captain abandons the wheel every time the first mate asks for attention, the ship crashes. But when the captain keeps his hands steady on the wheel, everyone on board feels safe. Your mission is the wheel. Stay there. Trigger number 6. The art of dying. This is the darkest trigger of all. And if you really understand it, every other trigger we talked about becomes 10 times stronger. Because at the root of all human behavior lies one brutal psychological force, the fear of loss. The Stoics had a phrase for it, memento mori, remember you will die. They used it to value life. But inside relationships, the same principle creates value in a different way. Because here is the uncomfortable truth most men refuse to face. The moment a woman feels she has you completely locked down, the chase ends. The mystery fades, the tension disappears. And when tension disappears, desire slowly suffocates. Think about it. If she knows you would never leave, no matter what she does, if she knows you will tolerate disrespect, if she knows you are terrified of losing her, then the dynamic becomes one-sided. She relaxes. She stops investing. She stops trying. Not because she's evil, but because the risk is gone. And without risk, there is no excitement, no urgency, no emotional electricity. This is why the Stoic man carries a very different energy. He is with her by choice, not by dependency. That difference is everything. You are not a hostage inside the relationship. You are a free man who chooses to stay, and if that choice is ever disrespected, you are also capable of leaving. Quietly, calmly, without drama, without threats, just gone. Most men are terrified of that idea, because deep down they are afraid of being alone. So they tolerate things that slowly destroy their dignity: disrespect, manipulation, emotional games. And every time they stay, they teach her something dangerous: that he has nowhere else to go, that his fear of losing her is greater than his respect for himself. Once that lesson is learned, attraction collapses. But the Stoic man operates from a different foundation. He accepts something most people avoid thinking about. Everything ends. Relationships end. People leave. Life changes. Nothing is permanent. And strangely, accepting that truth makes you powerful, because now you are no longer clinging. You are choosing. This is the art of dying, being willing to let something end in order to preserve who you are. Let me tell you something I once saw that explains this perfectly. A guy I knew had been dating a woman for months. At some point, she began testing boundaries. Small disrespect, little manipulations, nothing explosive, just slow erosion. One night, she crossed a line in front of other people. Most men would have argued, explained, negotiated. He didn't. He simply looked at her, calm, finished his drink, stood up, and said quietly, "I don't stay where I'm not respected." Then he left. No scene, no begging, no emotional explosion, just a man choosing dignity over attachment. And here is the interesting part. She spent weeks trying to get him back, because something primal had been triggered: loss. Humans are loss-averse creatures. Psychologists have proven this again and again. We fight much harder to keep something than we do to gain something. When someone feels they might lose you, suddenly your value skyrockets. Your time becomes precious. Your presence becomes meaningful. Your attention becomes something to protect. But when someone believes you will always stay no matter what, they stop guarding it. So the Stoic man carries a quiet message in his energy. My time is a privilege. My attention is earned. My commitment is not automatic. And here is the paradox that confuses most people. By being willing to lose her, you often keep her. By being willing to walk away, you make her want to stay. Because fearlessness is magnetic, and the man who is not afraid of the end becomes incredibly difficult to control. Now let's pause for a second, because I already know what some of you are thinking. This sounds cold. This sounds manipulative. I just want to love a woman. Listen carefully. This is not about becoming a villain. This is about not becoming a victim. The modern world has done something strange to men. It has sanded off your edges. It has trained you to be agreeable, predictable, safe, soft, and then it acts surprised when women lose attraction. But women do not want a fan. They want a mountain. A man who is grounded, unshakable. A man who can stand inside chaos without collapsing. Look at the 6 triggers we just explored. The void, emotional containment. The judge frame, controlled vulnerability. The mission. And finally, the willingness to walk away. These are not manipulation tactics. These are the psychological traits of a man who has mastered himself. A man who controls his emotions, his attention, his standards, his direction. And men like that are rare. Not because the knowledge is secret, but because most men lack the discipline to embody it. So here is your challenge. Don't just watch this video and nod. Test reality. Pick one trigger, just one. Maybe it's the void. Go 24 hours without initiating contact. Notice what happens. Maybe it's the mission. Instead of rearranging your schedule for her, protect your goals. Or maybe it's containment. The next time she throws an emotional test your way, hold eye contact. Stay calm. Don't react. Just observe. Watch what happens in her eyes. Watch the subtle shift in the energy between you. You will feel it. The moment the dynamic changes, the moment the frame lands on your shoulders, and once you feel that, you will never want to go back to the old version of yourself. The man who begged for attention, the man who performed for approval, the man who always finished last. Before you go, let me leave you with something to think about. In the next video, I'm going to break down a test that almost every woman gives without even realizing she's giving it. It's subtle, it's quiet, and most men fail it in seconds without understanding what just happened. That one moment determines whether she sees you as temporary or irreplaceable, whether you become the guy she forgets in a week or the man she can't stop thinking about long after you leave the room. If you think you understand the game now, wait until you see that. That video drops tomorrow. But for now, don't leave yet. You can watch the video appearing on your screen right now. It connects perfectly with what we talked about today and goes even deeper into the psychological dynamics most men completely miss. Click that video and keep going. And if this video made you see the game differently, take a second to subscribe to the channel and leave a like so you don't miss what's coming next. Most men will never understand the game, but you do.